to see through that autocorrect. Fool. Would have been more encouraging with the C in place of the F as I had intended. My dead husband, sent by a dear wife. I guess we'll catch on to this in a minute. I recently got a new iPhone 6. It amazes me how young kids automatically notice I got a new phone, whereas I am still trying to figure out what the difference is. One youngster in the back seat for our carpool said, "By the time my parents ever let me get a phone, it'll probably be an iPhone 23 or something." Po thing. Each time I get a new phone, it has to learn me. It is so impressive that it can figure out what I mean to say and eventually say it for me the first time. However, my newest phone changes my name, Terry, into Terrible every time. Dear iPhone, why you gotta be so rude? It all changes. Love ya. It also changes. Love ya, which seems to be a favorite closing of mine to love yam. I have nothing against the orange vegetable, but I don't think that detail is necessary in all of my texts. Additionally, and perhaps the worst yet, is my last name, Brady, which it transformed to Rash. I do not text my last name often, solely when I'm introducing my phone number to someone new in my texting world. So I text, "This is Terry Brady." Imagine getting a text from an unknown number and it says, "This is a terrible rash." LOL. Yep, that's me. I guess the phone's algorithm works by assuming I want words that I have frequently used in the past. I cannot verify, but it seems like the word Brady should have been used more frequently in my texting than the word rash. I am beginning to suspect the programmers are playing a joke on me, like a new Revenge of the Nerds. It strikes me that my name Terry and the word terrible are only 3 letters apart. However, my name, Terry, and the word terrific are only 3 letters apart too. So why doesn't it substitute terrific instead? I mean, surely I have used that word more often in the past than terrible, right? It should know by now. Just when I finished that thought, I realized that signing my text as a terrible rash, a terrific rash, is not any better. The autocorrect function has added quite a bit of humor to our lives. I like that rose among the thorns. However, even the term autocorrect puts a little truth into the way our lives tend to autocorrect. The term autocorrect, I assume, is a shortened form of automatically correct, which is such a great idea at the start. However, when we look at the root auto, it originates in the Greek word autos, meaning self. When I look at self and its sinful nature, I see why it is not the ideal aim. Truth be told, whether or not I text terrible more often than terrific, I have definitely automatically thought terrible more often than terrific thousands of times. For example, it is a beautiful day today here in North Carolina, 75 and sunny. Yet I have to correct myself to simply enjoy it and stop thinking about the cold front coming through tomorrow. Maybe I am terrible. If you have read other letters here, you have seen my focusing on thorns instead of shade, or having to force a thank you amidst the dead bird on the hockey table. For example purposes, we could take this to the dungeon. Too often, I see people leading their lives as a terrible rash. They get gloomy about one thing and it feeds another and another until the sky is seen as the coming gray and the thorns overshadow any roses. One such letter would summarize the thoughts. I think y'all need to get ready for this, y'all. Dear me, I can't believe the debt. I feel like such a failure. I can't do it anymore. I dream of material things. I don't want to be married anymore. Parenting is not for me. No one owns me. I can't imagine there is a God. I feel like I am defeated. Nothing will make a difference. Signed, me. That letter breaks my heart because I know many people who could write those words right now. It is so true that the dark side works that way. The bad wolf in our thinking chinks away at our outside until we open the gate to our heart. Then it feels virtually impossible to think any differently, and the thought that was sown yesterday reaps a belief that lives today. Terrible. If you could have written that letter today, please know I am praying for you. I know there are brighter skies ahead, but I pray that you know that too. The heaviness of thoughts like those are too much to bear alone. I think the Bible's Psalms were probably written by people who could have written that above letter and had to correct their thinking. When I'm afraid, I must put my trust in thee. In God whose word I praise, in God I have put my trust. I shall not be afraid. What can mere man do to me? Psalm 56, 3-4. There is good news though, Lord willing. We are able to correct our thinking, auto-correct it. As Martin Lloyd-Jones says in his book, Spiritual Depression, we need to stop listening to ourselves and start talking to ourselves. I have noticed that just like my phone's algorithm starts to learn what I meant, so can myself. I can actually start focusing right thinking, and the saying or acting improves based on those thoughts. The Bible doesn't say, run the race because you're going to lose. It doesn't say, set your mind on things below where you are. It's not. Jesus died so that others might wallow. No. But the Bible does say, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. Set your mind on things above. Colossians 3:2. Run the race as if to win. 1 Corinthians 9:24. Jesus died that we might live. 1 Peter 2:24. But it takes self-control to think the way we ought. It takes discipline to block the negative from getting into the gate. Changing the word from terrible to terrific requires purposefully deleting some things and then purposefully adding some others. And so does life. What if we auto-corrected that letter above? Write the second half and make sure they never separate again. Dear me, I can't believe the debt I can now get rid of. I feel like God created me for a purpose, and if there's such a failure in my path, I can learn and get better. I can't do it anymore without telling others so they can improve too. I dream of helping others. Material things don't control me. I control them. I don't want to be married to my debt or my job anymore. Parenting is not for me to leave my kids for others to raise. No one owns me except my Creator. I can't imagine there's a God who loves me this much. I feel like I am not able to be defeated. Nothing will stop me because I have self-control to make a difference in my life and the lives I've touched. Signed with full-hearted belief, me. Don't grow weary in well-doing, my friend. There's too much above waiting on us. Love you. Terry Brady. So, letting your sinful nature control your mind leads to death. But letting the Spirit control your mind leads to life and peace. Romans 8:6. It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. Deuteronomy 31:8. And that is the close of this great article. This is so cool. Oh, they got some more. Like, why am I stupid? I heard this today too, y'all. Why am I stupid? It's a nice one too. I think I'll do that one tomorrow. But these letters to Lindsay is pretty cool because they kind of put in perspective what how you need to think and what you're telling yourself. Like, I see people like that too every day. They're sad about their lives. They're not comfortable with where they are in their life. And it's all about what you're going to do about it, how you're going to think about it. What's your plan? Like, write some things down. I tell somebody, how I started off, they were interested in just listening and, to me and how I got this far. And I'm just like, I'm not as far as I want to be, but my story is going to get me where I need to be. And that's what it's about. It's about sharing your stories because people love good stories. And that's what people are attracted to. They want to enjoy what they're listening to. And that's what this is all about. And that's why it's so autocorrect of me to do this show, because a lot of people are just ready to sit back, talk about some real issues, but at the end of the day, can I get some tips? Can I get some answers to some questions? Like I said, I'm always open in the chat room. Even after the show becomes pre-recorded, you can still go back and chat with me about some of the things you heard. And if you have questions on how to get certain information, I got it for you right in the Boss Ladies library. Inventory is loaded with super tons of information that can benefit you and your family. So don't beat yourself up about the mistakes that you've made. Don't feel like nobody's caring about you. Maybe you're just not paying attention. I've had a point in my life where I didn't think nobody cared. And the only reason why I felt that way, because that's what I was thinking. And so it came out of me that way. But at the end of the day, when I really opened up my mind and people that did care about me come around and I started to pay attention, my life got a little bit better, because you can't do it alone. But at the same time, you alone can only control what you think about. So that's basically all I had to say tonight. Stay tuned for more of season 4. And we'll be doing the reunion pretty soon. Let's see. So Friday is the 29th. Saturday is the 30th. So yeah, we're going to close out on Saturday. Have an awesome bang out for season 4. And then after season 4, we're going to go back to season 1, and so forth. So we got 30-something shows per season. It's going down. I will be taking some of those down. The shows that got the most likes will stay on. The most downloads will stay on. I will keep you posted on what shows were. And then those shows will be randomly picked for the season 4 reunion. I thank everybody again for coming out, listening to the show. I talk too, so talk back. I don't have to do all the talking. So, if you're interested in starting your own podcast, let me know. Just download the app and get started. It's no hassles, no nothing. That's all I did, y'all. I just downloaded the app and got started. So, and I also got started on the right thinking, and starting to talk about it really helps tremendously. When I sit here and every night I'm talking about something positive, I'm listening to something positive, I'm watching something positive. It's like thinking is very, very powerful, more than people think. I mean, I can't say it enough, And the only reason why I can't say it enough, because it's doing it's changing a lot of things in my life. So I'm excited about this autocorrect thing. I'm going to try to go out and see if I can get that book in person. So if you want to come by and join the book club, it's definitely available. We could definitely sit down and do that. That'll be also included on the show. We can start going over some books and talking about some things and solving some problems, because we can do all that here on the Boss Ladies Live radio show. So really, on that note, that's all I had to say. Finally, and good afternoon, morning, and evening, and I will see you soon. Peace.
We are Now transferring you to a customer care.